Tomorrow morning. How are you doing?
Yeah, good morning. I'm doing good. So you want me to run by the PPT or is just like a discussion that you guys are
I think a
looking at?
couple of guys have to join here. I think. What do you say, Geeta?
Hello, Vinitha.
Giri. I think Giri is in touch with them. Probably that thing is not answering here.
Okay, so what exactly is it that you want me to run by, Venkat?
Yeah. So Kumar, we are four to five guys,
Okay,
and we are blockchain enthusiasts. Okay.
okay.
So I think we have did enough research on the market, but we didn't get the proper trainer or something like that. So a few people have in our team they have cleared a certification to IBM. What is that? IBM Foundation Developer.
Yeah, I use
Um,
blockchains. Yes.
yeah. I think few of them have finished essentials too. But just having the theoretical knowledge is different. Having the completely the practical knowledge, what exactly the market is seeking, and we are not like up to the market. So he can help us guiding where can you exactly help us, taking to the marketing standards like in the blockchain, and how I mean, how do you think? The market is good for the people like from 3 years to the 12 years guys, because we are mix and match, guys, right?
Okay, so
So
what is the or the kind of experience that you people have?
one guy is having 3 years, one guy is having 8 years, one guy is having 10 years, and I'm having 12 years.
Okay, that's great. So, and to be honest, it's like I was completely focusing on development side of the part. So three, eight, and
Hmm.
10, they can definitely get on with it. So, I mean,
Okay.
what are your interests, sir? I mean, how do you want to expose yourself to the blockchain as an at architect level, or what else it is?
See, myself, Kumar, I'm planning to have a startup. So I'm trying to trying to chase out the things how good it is for me, or first to work for initially for some time and then jump into the
Great.
yeah. So that's how
Yeah, that would definitely help
Kumar.
you out also because, as you know, it's a new framework for developing applications. Let us put it
Mm-hmm.
this way: blockchain is nothing but a new framework to develop applications securely with utmost trust without the use of third parties in a single way. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
while dealing with the session, it's not just the language that I'm going to teach you; it's the complete architecture. All right,
Okay.
overall,
Yeah.
right from the basics of all the nuances that are used in the blockchain, the glossary
Mm-hmm.
terms. We'll discuss each and every term probably, and then we'll start off with the architecture and then move to the development part. So
Mm-hmm.
it's, as you know, this is a new one. People are expecting you as a complete package. For example, if you go to Salesforce or SAP, you have the admins different, you have the developers at a different stage, and you have someone else to
Testers
do the testing part, right?
testing, yes.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but in the blockchain, it's like they're expecting you to be from complete. That is from starting to end. That is, you should know how to deploy your own network. You should know where the application development fits in. All right. For example,
Mm-hmm.
there's an XYZ banking application. So,
Mm-hmm.
which part of the application fits into the blockchain? What should go into the blockchain? All those details have to be, scrutinized by us only. So for that purpose, I'll definitely take you to the complete architecture of blockchain, and then we'll look into Ethereum basically for the development part.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good to you?
Yeah, Giri and Siddha, you guys are there? Are you able to hear us? Is it
Venkat,
audible? Yeah, hi
hello.
Giri.
Yeah,
Giri, is it
some
audible?
problem with my laptop. Yeah,
Okay. Gauss.
yeah. Now I is Gauss is in. I don't know about Siddha. Siddha is in or not.
Okay. No, Siddha is not in it. Gauss, is it audible? Gauss has left. I think he's going to rejoin.
Yeah, so Venkat, just a minute.
Yeah, sure. So you can tell us what are the tools in the market currently is in demand, and
So
what are you trying to say?
let me tell you, there are many around 5 to 6 frameworks currently in the market, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Okay,
mm-hmm.
and the best tools that are getting more traction right now in the market is one is Hyperledger Fabric and the other one is Ethereum. You might have heard of
Okay.
Ethereum more. It's the
Yeah.
cryptocurrency Ether, right? Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So these are the two popular frameworks on which 80% of the applications that are in the POC stage right now are being developed. The
Mm-hmm.
Hyperledger and the Ethereum. So in
What
this
is a
core, as a
composer?
part,
What is a composer? Are you
so in
covering?
Hyperledger, no, let me explain it to you. Hyperledger
Yeah.
Fabric, in Hyperledger Fabric
Mm.
is a main blockchain platform, but
Okay.
it's not easy to deploy the complete architecture. It takes you through a lot of manual process. Whereas
Okay.
Composer, it simplifies you. Have you heard of Docker and Docker Compose?
Yeah, I have heard.
Exactly. So Docker is the complete engine wherein you need to input all the kind of
I
files.
heard. Sorry, Kumar. I heard probably my friends Giri and Gauss they wouldn't have. Uh,
Okay, okay.
Kubernetes. I know the Kubernetes as well.
Okay, so let me explain it to you in this way. If you
Mm.
want to set up your own Docker image, you have to, compile each and everything that you want the Docker container to have. That is the OS and everything, and then you bring up every time. Instead of
Mm.
that, what you do is in Docker Compose, you write a single YAML file and then run it so that it will take care of the execution. Similarly, in Hyperledger Composer, what we do is we build the network and then deploy it to the Fabric network instead
Mm-hmm.
of trying to build each and everything in bits and pieces. For example,
Okay.
in Hyperledger Fabric, we need to set up the orderer, pairs, etc. and stuff. But in
Mm-hmm.
Composer, what we do is we have a Docker image of all these orderers and pairs, and then we can try to deploy the network on our own. So, as a part of this course, we are not touching the Hyperledger Fabric. I think the organizer, VLR training person, can talk to you more on that part.
Mm-hmm. I mean, is it part of this package or it's separate out
It's
of the
not a part of this
conversation?
package, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Hyperledger is a separate course again.
Okay. Okay. So you help me in Fabric or Composer?
I mean, if when we go to the Hyperledger, it's both Fabric and Composer
No, what you
together.
were covering, Kumar? Hmm.
In this, I'm covering Ethereum.
Not the Hyperledger. Okay.
No, not the Hyperledger part.
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Hmm.
Yeah. Uh, can you see my screen
No.
now?
Yeah. No. Yeah, we can see now.
Yeah. So as you can see it, more or less, this is going to be. So this is what we are going to mainly focus on. Of course, we'll be having all the initial parts. That is what exactly is cryptography and cryptocurrency, and I'll have to run you through each and everything because these are the main blocks to exactly know what exactly blockchain is and what are the things that are going into that. After that, then we'll be probably trying to focus more on Ethereum and then the Solidity language. You're
Mm-hmm.
seeing this right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So our most complete focus will be on this, and then at the end of the course, we'll be looking into deploying of the decentralized application. We'll try to
Mm-hmm.
create a project on Ethereum.
Okay. One Ethereum Solidity smart contracts, you cover everything. I think to learn the
Yes.
Solidity, we require JavaScript as well. So you help.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Uh,
Definitely. I'll definitely give you a class or two on JavaScript, but
okay.
it's not going to be a complete package of JavaScript as such.
Okay. Okay. But which
It's
is
the
essential
initial.
for us.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
That is going to be there. Eventually.
Okay.
So, Kumar, only JavaScript is enough to do the coding, or do we need to learn about the Node.js or AngularJS, all these things?
Look, let me tell it. Let me put it to you this way. For any application, we need a front end, back end, right?
Yes.
So
Database.
even a blockchain application is similar to that only, except that some of the back end coding you're doing it in Solidity, right? For example, let's take Ethereum. Right? We write this Solidity smart contracts to be deployed on the Ethereum network. And then what we do is we need to write a front end, be it Angular or Java, anything you can take off. It's a mixture of all these things. So we use the
Okay.
Web3. We use a component called as Web3.js to interact with the
Hmm.
smart contract and get the things done. So it's not exactly Angular. You can even have a HTML front end, or you can develop applications using Java, whatever it might be. We have APIs such as Web3.js and Web3j to interact with the smart contracts. So when I say we are building an application, it's the complete application ecosystem. That is the front end, back end, the database, and all. But here, as part of a database, we are looking at the Ethereum blockchain.
Mhm.
Okay.
Does it answer your question, Giridhar?
Yes, yes.
Anything? What about Coda? Anything R3 Coda
No, no, sir.
covered?
We'll not be touching those things at all. Those are
Okay.
different frameworks, R3,
It's a
Coda, Quorum,
it's
and all.
yeah, they are consortiums, right? Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Genius. Truffle because Ethereum it's mix of
Because
like MetaMask. That's what I remember. So Truffle.
see,
These are the part of
if we come to
Ethereum.
Oh,
if we come for plugins, there are many plugins available in the market, right? So, what are all the familiar to learn?
can you be more specific on the plugin that you're talking about?
Truffles, Truffle,
Oh,
MetaMask, and
MetaMask is a
Remix.
plugin, and it's like these MetaMask, Truffle, and Remix are independent of each other. They have completely different functionality. It's not like they three represent the same thing. We'll get to know more about those things when we talk about the codes.
Okay,
So, MetaMask is like your wallet where you store your Ether or something. Remix is an online IDE to develop the smart contracts, whereas Truffle is the complete framework. Like instead of trying to deploy each and every time on the Ethereum network, what you can do is you can test it locally and then try to deploy it on the Ethereum network. So Truffle gives you that provisions, that is to mimic the Ethereum network. So you got my point, right?
okay.
Three are three different
Yes.
things.
So most of the people will go for Truffle. I mean, they'll deploy code and they'll test it. I mean,
Yes,
they'll test first
exactly.
and then deploy.
Yes, it's the Truffle
Okay.
framework, the most popular thing right now for Ethereum.
Okay. And how about market? I mean, jobs in the market in India or out of India.
If you're looking at only Hyderabad, the market is really narrow, but you can just test it yourself. You can just float a resume and see. You'll get a call within the next 3 to 4 hours. In Bangalore, Pune, and Noida, the market is really huge.
Okay. Not
Which
only
is good.
the location specific. I'm just asking about the Indian market.
That's what I'm saying. India, it is really good because, as you know, the main part of Indian this thing is services. We hardly have any of our own development, right? So the
Hmm.
development has already started in the US and UK, and now they are looking for the service providers in India. And because of
Okay.
lack of this technology stack with the
Skill
Indian
set.
things, skill set, uh, the people are not able to bid for the projects completely. If you look at the Indian service companies websites, TCS, Infosys, Capgemini, Accenture, all of them have a requirement for blockchain, and that's really huge. Let me give you just an example. I'm not bloating myself. So like recently I got a offer from Wipro. Okay, and
Okay.
during one of the conversations I found out that the requirement for the complete blockchain team was around 80 to 100 people. That was the initial stage.
Mhm.
Yeah, so there's a lot of opportunity, and it's like you don't want to you don't need to rely on what I am saying. You can just Google it yourself on the number of POCs and the things that are coming up on blockchain and blockchain related technologies.
Okay. Currently, is there any projects went into production or it's still on the staging stage only?
There are few projects that are gone into production. For example, have you heard of Swift payments? Okay,
Mm,
those Swift payments is nothing but your inter-country transfer, right?
okay.
If you want to transfer money from one bank account to another, the whole world uses only Swift payments, and through them the money is routed. But right now,
Okay.
ICICI Bank and all are testing Ripple. If you have heard of Ripple, Ripple is a
Yeah,
payments
yeah, I
platform,
had.
right?
Yes,
Now they're trying to integrate with Ripple. So Ripple has completed its testing stage and is in the part of its integration stage with the banks.
okay,
That's the first major thing. And you have many other projects on Ethereum. That is Uport. It's called Sovereign Identity, and these guys are trying to develop a KYC kind of thing, which is already used in Switzerland. Okay,
okay,
so there are projects that are live, but 80% of the projects are in the end of the POC stage
okay.
and moving into the MVPs.
So when we're talking about that job market in India, so how about
Yes.
the percentage of hikes people are getting, like, can expect, or
It's like last November, I was with a package of 7 with a very reputed company. Now I'm working for a small production company and I'm having 14.5 as my package.
oh,
How many years of experience you have, Kumar?
In blockchain, I have 1.5 to 2 years experience, and on the whole, I have 6 years of
Total?
experience.
Okay.
6 years.
Okay, okay. 2.6 years. What is the market good for as an Ethereum or Hyperledger? Which is this versus this. Where,
No,
where do you think which are the drawbacks between these tools, and where do you think the strength?
it's
Yeah, because this is the gap. Depends on business cases. These features are allowing here or something like that.
well, if you are looking at your own startup products and stuff, people are more inclined towards Ethereum because it's publicly available and everyone can access that. But if you're looking at an enterprise grade level implementation, for example, if you want to develop a supply chain network, that can be done using Ethereum, but it's too much of process intensive. Instead of that, what they're doing is people are moving to the Hyperledger. So let me put it this way: if you want to develop an application that is publicly available to everyone, people are more inclined towards Ethereum. Whereas if you want to develop enterprise grade applications that is only to the enterprise, then people are going to the Hyperledger
You mean to say for cryptocurrencies they go Ethereum, and for corporate business applications they go
applications. Yes, exactly.
for go for
Not
Hyperledger.
just cryptocurrencies. If you can take a look, you have something called as CryptoKitties. It's a game. It's on
Mm-hmm.
Ethereum. You can't
Mm-hmm.
develop such kind of games on Hyperledger.
Okay.
Whereas, if you're developing a supply chain tracking network, it would be easy on Ethereum, but it's time consuming because of the consensus mechanism. Whereas in Hyperledger Fabric, it's much more secure with less time and processing power. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
difference. Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Both has a consensus algorithm, or just that use some SHA-512, or this uses some
No,
BFT something is
Yeah,
common
both have
across.
their own consensus algorithms. BFT is
Mm-hmm.
used in Hyperledger, whereas Ethereum uses POW.
Okay. Clear.
means like B2B is for Ethereum and B2C is for, I mean, B2B is for
No,
Hyperledger
no.
and
We
B2C is for
cannot.
Ethereum.
We can definitely, we can definitely not classify on that part. That is a business to customer
Okay,
and business to business. It's just a sample
okay,
example that I gave. But yes, you can develop Ethereum applications also if you want to develop it on a private net. But a lot of things have to be taken care of. Yes.
okay. As like you're telling that now Ethereum is using proof of work, right?
Yes.
But what about proof of stake? Proof of
Proof
are
of
That's a
stake
already
Bitcoin.
is
That's a
not
Bitcoin.
it's not out till the third release of the Ethereum. Right now, it's in second release. First
okay,
one was Olympia. It's now gone. I think
hmm,
it's home state release now, and it's for Senate release. It will take some time, but I think Rinkaby test network. Ethereum has two test networks. That is Ropsten and Rinkaby. Ropsten is your proof of work, whereas Rinkaby is your proof of stake. So if you want to test applications on proof of stake, you can use Rinkaby network.
okay. There will be a different network to use that.
Yes.
Test
No, no, no,
networks.
no. These are
Uh,
test networks. You have the main
okay,
Ethereum network that is running on POW, which will be upgraded to POS in the future. But to test your applications, there are two test networks, Rinkaby and
okay,
Ropsten. Ropsten is the POW
okay,
and Rinkaby is the POS.
okay.
This is like you require a gas, right, to do anything, some transactions. So
Yes,
this test
exactly.
network will help,
Yeah, so it's like
having the gas.
every 3 days they'll give us free ether to
Hmm.
write our own applications.
Okay.
It's fake ether, okay? It
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
be
yeah.
merged with your Ethereum. This one.
But we can deploy our things in production. That's what I heard.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. Hmm.
And Kumar,
So
one question is like, yeah, Venkat, you can go.
see, if you learn the Ethereum, is it easy to learn the Hyperledger? Or if you learn the Hyperledger, it is easy to learn the Ethereum? Or it's mandatory in the market to have both in balance?
It's not mandatory exactly, sir. It's like while learning Ethereum, we'll get to know the complete architecture of it, right?
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
but as I told you, Ethereum is completely public and Hyperledger is kind of private thing. There's a little different in how you're trying to deploy the network and how you're
Hmm.
trying to add people to the network so that they can access the data, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So there are
Hmm.
slight differences, and of course, in development point of view, this is completely Solidity and Web3.js where there you can use Node.js and Go language and JavaScript.
Hmm. You mean to say Node.js is in Hyperledger or something like that? Or
Yes, we have Node.js SDKs to develop the Fabric applications.
okay. Another one you said Node.js SDK?
Go language.
Go, yeah, Go language. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
So how about in the market, like same thing, like if you have a project or if you want to deploy a project, getting the requirements, designing it, coding it, testing it, and deploying it and giving the support is the same fashion or same life cycle that we are following here, or it's
Yeah,
different comparing to conventional development life cycle?
no, it's the same life cycle, sir. But it's only that you have to carefully see what exactly fits into blockchain. For example, the hype that is going around and people are asking for everything to be put on blockchain. That's not
Yeah,
the
it's not.
case, right?
I mean, the
Yeah, exactly.
feasibility study is important.
Exactly. So it's like the
Mhm.
conventional development process only.
Okay, okay, great. I mean to do the feasibility study, developer can't tell the feasibility study, right? So there is
It's
separate
the
team saying that.
architect. Yeah, exactly. But right
Correct.
now, it's not just the developer. It's like the admin for the network, the developer, the tester, as well as the person who can give you, inputs on what exactly should go onto the.
Mhm.
Yes.
Good, Kumar. You are having very good knowledge in the market. Uh,
It's like I started out a little bit early to my luck,
mm,
and that's what is giving me an upper role actually.
great, great, great. Leave your number,
So
Kumar.
currently, yeah,
I think, yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Okay.
no, currently you're working on Ethereum or Hyperledger in your current project.
I did POC on Ethereum, but the client
Okay,
was more inclined to Hyperledger. So we just started it on
okay,
Hyperledger and Quorum to be specific. So,
okay.
the Quorum is Deloitte's blockchain, I suppose, or JP
Uh,
Morgan, sorry. Quorum is
JP
JP
Morgan
Morgan's
is
blockchain. Yeah, it's completely Ethereum with a part of their own that is going to make it as a private blockchain rather than public.
See what these guys do now. So they'll take because Ethereum is a public, they'll take the code from the GitHub. Okay. Top on
Yes, yes,
that,
that's what they did.
they'll add a flavors on that and tell this is a private. So they can do
Exactly.
that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it is. That's what
Even
Quorum is.
Deloitte, even Deloitte has their own. What is that? Rubik's or something?
R3 Coda is Deloitte's thing.
No, no, no. Arthicota is not the Deloitte. It's a consortium. Rubik's is the one done by Deloitte.
Uh,
R3 Coda is consortium. No one. R3 owns the Coda actually. R3 is different. Coda is different. But these are the consortiums using by JP Morgan, all investment bankings.
okay, okay. Then I might have got on the wrong
Yeah,
listing on that part.
yeah.
Yes.
You check in the wiki. It will be clear for you.
Okay, I'll just do that. So yeah.
And one more question is like, if we start a job in blockchain, say if we
Okay.
place into a company, so what generally we need to, I mean, from where we need to start?
So it's like the basics would be
How,
any exposure to any of the programming language. That's definitely what people are looking for, right? So once that is there, if you already have, if you're already an expert in I mean Go or Node.js, you can start off with the Hyperledger, or else you have any JavaScript background. It's like both are the same. In Hyperledger, writing the chain code, and in Ethereum, writing the smart contracts. It's kind of the same thing, but you need to have the idea about what exactly the architecture is and how to deploy and maintain it. Got my point?
Yeah.
Yes,
So, I
yes.
mean, if we go through your class till the end, so will we get an idea that how we can, I mean, architecture
Definitely,
wise,
I'll I'll make sure that you have a complete idea on the architecture.
because see, I have a 10 years of experience, 10 plus.
Okay. Yes.
So I very less knowledge on programming this thing.
Okay.
But I started learning JavaScript for my own, so I need a trainer also for that. So it's good that if you give any exposure
I'll
on the
definitely
programming.
expose you to what they say the JavaScript, what is really required
Um,
for the development. But I'm not sure about the complete JavaScript course.
okay, so
Yeah,
will I get I mean, is it feasible for me to sustain in this blockchain if I
definitely.
continue with this knowledge?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's like you say you're having around 10 years of experience. You'd be at the architect level probably right now, right? So
Yes.
this would be an added qualification for you, whereas people are looking for not exactly developers in blockchain, but a complete package. A person who knows the
Okay.
ecosystem and tells them that where to deploy the chain and stuff like that.
Okay. So in
Uh,
market currently it's going on like there is no architectural positions or developer positions, all are same like based on the experience they are picking up or what?
It's just how many years of experience you have, and then they're taking you to the series of technical questions, and if they uh, qualify, they're taking you directly. It's like even if you're 3 years experience or 10 years experience, and based on your
Okay.
experience, they're deciding your role.
Okay.
but how about the course? Mean will the flow will be like topic and then practical, or it will be 70% theory and 30% 20% practicals like
It's
that.
like what all is neat. Let me tell you, it's like the initial. It's going to be more of theoretical thing because you need to understand each and every part of what exactly a blockchain is. When I'm trying to explain about the complete architecture, right? So
Okay.
where all programming is required, we'll definitely look into that part. But once we start Solidity, it's completely practical. So before learning Solidity, before coming to the Solidity, that is the programming part, when we are trying to deploy the network or when we are trying to learn about the network components or the Ethereum architecture components, it's going to be more of theoretical with a complete explaining of what each and everything is. I'm not sure if we can do any practicals on that part. Yeah, for cryptography and hashes related thing, I can execute programs and show it to you. So that's how it's going to be, Gauss.
Okay. Head of the course, we will be a developer, right?
Exactly. Yes. So you'll not just be a developer, you'll have the complete idea of architecture. For example, as I told you in the beginning, SAP or something, they call you as SAP developer or Salesforce developer because you have separate admins for them. But in case of blockchain, you'll be the admin as well as you'll be the developer.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Testing, there'll be separate testing team, or I'm just asking.
It's the regular testing team only to test things.
So
But
any
you
testing
need,
can do that, right?
yeah, it's
Okay.
not a separate testing this thing framework for this one. Of course, the code will be the unit test and all will be written by us only initially for our code, but as a complete
Hmm.
application testing, it will be the regular testing team only.
Okay.
I think going forward, projects will come in such a way, like, so they have developed in the Hyperledger, they want to move the code to the Ethereum. Like they have so few projects they have done in the Ethereum, they want to move to the Hyperledger. I think this
Yes,
cross platforms also will help.
definitely there's a lot of scope for that.
Mm.
So does that answer all your questions, Giri, Gauss, and Venkat?
Yeah. So how many days course,
Yes.
or is there any some other person we have to reach out to that?
I think the training institute person can give you the complete details, but we are planning it as a 45-day course.
Okay. Okay.
So we'll
45 days, that includes Saturday, Sunday, or
no.
okay,
I'm sorry,
excluding
no.
Saturdays,
Yeah,
weekends.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
If there are only
So,
weekend classes, are there only weekend classes, or just
We
weekdays?
haven't planned for it now, but so like weekends I'm busy with something else. So
okay,
Where
maybe
Where are
after
you from? I
Hyderabad
mean,
only.
okay.
Yeah.
okay. And so, for the installations part and all, so do we need to come there, or we can do it online? I mean,
No. I
if you
We
guide.
can do it online only. I'll just guide you through each and every step. That's not a big deal at all.
Okay.
Will it be possible to do it in the MacBook?
Yeah.
It's Ubuntu only, right? You're going to help installing
It's
Ubuntu.
Ubuntu, and you can even do it in MacBook also. Not an issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So at the end of the course, we'll get a knowledge on the architecture part and the development part,
Development
and
part, exactly.
the networking side also we'll get some idea, right?
Which
Yes,
includes deployment, developing, deploying, and supporting.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, great,
Uh,
Kumar. Nice talking to you. I think that's questions from my side. Giri and Gauss, if you have any questions, please go ahead.
Venkat, I think Siddha is not joined yet, right?
Oh yeah, no,
Yes.
he's not in the list.
Can you call him once?
Okay, just give me a minute.
Okay. Kumar?
Yes.
Yeah, you know Telugu, right?
Yeah. Telugu వచ్చు మాట్లాడండి. It's not an issue.
ఓకే ఓకే సో అదే నా మెయిన్ డౌట్ ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు నాకున్న ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ కి నేను ఇవన్నీ నేర్చుకుని జాబ్ తెచ్చుకుని సస్టైన్ అవ్వగలుగుతావా అన్నది ఒక మెయిన్ క్వశ్చన్ అన్నమాట. అంటే ప్రోగ్రామింగ్
Yeah.
లాంగ్వేజ్ మీరు అన్నట్టు ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ లాంగ్వేజ్ మీద ఎక్కువ గ్రిప్ తెచ్చుకోవాలి. ఈవెన్ నేను
కొంచెం
ట్రై చేస్తాను నా
డెఫినెట్లీ
సైడ్
గ్రిప్
నుంచి.
డెఫినెట్లీ గ్రిప్ తీసుకోవాలండి. వన్ జావా స్క్రిప్ట్ లాంగ్వేజ్ దట్ విల్ హెల్ప్ యూ అవుట్ ఫర్ ఇథీరియం యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ హైపర్ లెడ్జర్. దట్స్ వాట్ ఐ మీన్ టు సే.
ఓకే.
ఒక
సో
జావా స్క్రిప్ట్
ఓన్లీ
నేర్చుకుంటే
ఓన్లీ జావా స్క్రిప్ట్ మీద కొంచెం నాట్ ఇన్ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ లెవెల్ అయితే రాలేదు ఇప్పటికిప్పుడు మనం చేసినా గానీ,
లేదండి.
కానీ
ఇట్స్ నాట్ నౌ,
ఇంటర్మీడియట్ లెవెల్.
బట్ ఇన్ 4 to 5 months యూ కెన్ డెఫినెట్లీ గెట్ టు దట్ లెవెల్. దట్స్ వాట్ ఐమ్ సేయింగ్. ఇప్పుడు మనం
ఓకే
ఎట్లా
ఓకే
కోర్స్ స్టార్ట్ చేసిన తర్వాత విల్ హ్యావ్ అరౌండ్ 2 weeks ఆఫ్ కంప్లీట్ థియరీ ఆన్ ఆర్కిటెక్చర్ పాయింట్. యూ కెన్
ఓకే
యునో maybe at least daily small task, we'll talk about JavaScript and stuff, maybe 5 to 10
ఓకే
minutes per day. Okay. So
ఓకే
by the time we get to the coding part, we'll have a fair amount of knowledge on the complete coding thing.
ఓకే ఓకే సో ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద కోర్స్ కి మేము ఇంటర్వ్యూ క్రాక్ చేసేంత నాలెడ్జ్ వస్తుందా?
Definitely, and ఎందుకంటే it's like as I told you, it's a new thing, and to be honest, the technical recruiters are, it's like out of 10 recruiters, only one guy knows the complete thing. The rest nine
ఓకే
are looking at just internet questions. So by the time I'll train you in the complete architecture, that is the development, deployment, and then if required, how to move it from one point to another. Let's look at that on that part, but as part of the course, we'll definitely look into the development and the deployment, both of them.
ఓకే
Apart from development, Giri is not answering my call. Kumar,
ఓకే
see, apart from development, so would you help us in doing like feasibility study? Okay, if some client will come out with some business cases saying that I have
Yes,
this requirement, so is this because for the business sake, company will accept everything. So they'll tell even if
exactly.
it
I
is
got it.
no, they'll tell yes. So they'll force us to make us to tell yes, right? So can is that we will be in a position of whether this business case is legally applicable to fit in the blockchain or not?
Yeah, sure. It's like as I told you, we'll be developing a project as part of this course, and in that project, we'll see till what point we can do that. We'll take up a sample use case and see what all things will fit into the blockchain on that use case.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Good, everybody.
Yes, yes.
All right, Venkat,
So
Gauss, and Gilpati. Any other questions you have?
Yes, Kumar, I'm done.
Hello?
Yeah, Kumar, I don't have any question.
Okay.
I'm also done, Giridhar.
Do you have any curriculum to please share? When
Yeah,
is the
yeah,
next batch that
yeah.
you're planning? Uh,
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 It's actually there in the VLR website, but I'll be
DLR.
sending out a curriculum to the organizer,
Venkat, huh? Okay.
yeah, Venkat, and you can just have a word with him.
Yeah, please, give the latest one.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
saying that
sure.
you're going to update, right? So, what are all we want to see? What are all going to cover in that?
No,
You're going to cover in that.
yeah, yeah, sure, sir. I'll do that. Yeah.
Okay. And as like
Okay.
you said, the first 2 weeks will be the theoretical course only, completely, right?
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Okay, okay. Okay. Thank you, Kumar.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you all.